welcome back to the channel. Location Exmoor again, just down the road from where I was last week. I can't walk, I've got a very painful foot, so I've pretty much parked on location. Do you remember this picture from last week's video? If you watched the whole thing, you'd have seen it nearer the end. I snapped this one as I was walking back to the van. So here it is. Now you've got that leading line that runs you to the tree. It's like a little gully in the ground, isn't it? Then you've got the tree as a foreground interest. And then we focus stacked on the tree and on the background. Two shots blended together and put in Photoshop. Absolutely loved it. I love the contrast of the background with the snow in the foreground. I thought it was just a fantastic photo. So I thought this week we'll come back. Because I can't walk, because I don't want to walk because of my bad foot. I don't want to make it any worse. So I've parked pretty much near the tree where I can. I was going to do like a whole tutorial of focus stacking, but there'll be no point because there's no bloody background, let alone a foreground. We'll walk down there in a minute. I'm completely missed it out. I came up here for sunrise. Thought we'd get some beautiful colours like we did last week. It's not going to be unless that sun comes up and burns all this mist off. But thanks for tuning in. We'll make it what we can. This is Exmoor. This is, this is part and parcel of the reasons why I love it, because it's forever changing and you come up here with the best expectations of a beautiful sunrise and your plans are thwarted because there's mist. Driving up here, it was lovely. It was clear, slightly damp. The clouds were broken, so things were looking good. Things were looking my way. But as soon as I started to climb Porlock Hill, the mist, it was there. Never mind. Let's make something of it. Come on, let's go. Tree. Oh, look. Sod in hell. Never mind. What we can do is, thinking on the way down here, we can still focus stack, rather than still focus stack that foreground interest and the background interest as the landscape. We can focus stack this foreground interest with the tree. So let's get set up and try and make good out of not a bad situation, a moody situation. And yeah, cue to set up VT. Here we go. What we'll do, we get set up a bit further towards the tree this time. If you remember the photo well, we've got that sort of line of grass in the lower right third. So we'll set up on that and we'll make that our foreground interest today. Stay still, bag! God's sake. I'm not in a mood at all. Perhaps I am. Just got to try and make the light of a bad situation, haven't you? You can do the best planning in the world, can't you? Photoshop and... Sorry, not Photoshop. With like photo pills and the other one that they use that I can't remember the name of. Right, so we're down by the tree. I'm really hoping you can see the grid lines on the back of the camera. They're just there, look. That's the grid I told you about when we were doing a river shot. So if you imagine the middle square of that, you're not going to see the top part of the grid because it's whited out with the mist. But that's where I want you to look, see? So the bottom square there, or the middle square, the bottom right hand corner of that, this is where it all starts and runs round to the tree. And then your eye will naturally lead up to this corner, which is the vastness that I'm trying to get into the shot. They are actually my settings at the moment. 1/15 of a second f8, ISO 125. Now, set up a slightly different place. I'll show you the setup. Look. So there's the camera, sort of there, and then we're leading off into this grass, and that leads round, curves into the shot, which curves into the tree, and then Bob's your uncle, and then we have vastness. It's just, you know, you can do that with photography. You don't have to always have an interest. The interest is the tree. There is no interest beyond it, apart from my only descriptive word of it is the moody elements of Exmoor. So there's nothing beyond the tree. So let's focus at this. Let's make this sharp. So we need to concentrate on the foreground. Now look at your foreground, because the row of grass that I just showed you, that is moving. All right, so you need to adjust for that to make sure you get them pin sharp. It's not mega windy, but there is movement. So get your first shot, focus on the grass, get your first shot, check your settings, zoom in on the back of the camera, have a look. On the actual tree, we got some like mossy crap hanging down from it, which is also blowing in the wind. So you'll need to check every shot that you're taking, make sure you're happy with the sharpness. I know it's difficult on a tiny little 2.5 inch screen, but check every shot. I'm going to do some shots now and we'll see what they look like. So I've done my first 3 shots. I've actually had to get up to 1/60th of a second. I've put it down to f7.1. I don't need depth of field because the tree's there. There is nothing else. And I'm actually at ISO 320. Pleased, the grass is sharp. I've done 3 shots. So the first shot is focused on this lump of grass in the foreground. The second shot is the midground, because when I stand up and look at the midground, I can see that's blowing as well, so I want that sharp. Third shot is a tree. They're all sharp. Good to go. Here it is. What's really nice is, so I'm still on a bit of a verge here, trying to look after my foot. I came out today with a bad foot, with no intention of walking the normal mileage that I normally walk, and it's made me realise how good it is just to focus on one subject, which is that tree. I'm set up in the gully now. Oh, hang on, there's a car coming past. I'm set up in that gully and leading through that, and this tree's really making my morning. You know, through the best of planning, stuff goes wrong, and you have to be able to adapt to that. My subject this morning was always going to be that tree, but I wanted that background. I desperately wanted Dunkery Beacon again and the sunrise. But with the best of intent, it doesn't work. It doesn't happen. You know, we are up very high. The conditions are subject to change, aren't they? They do what they want. Right, so that's 3 sets of shots I've done. Each time, foreground, midground, subject. Focus on those areas. Check your pictures. I'll show you where I am for the last 2 that I've done. Sort of here, I've come right out, so I think about 35mm, and gone in and followed up through. And I've also gone into 70mm. which starts about there and made the whole tree the subject. Again, all focus stacked, foreground, midground, subject. With the one at 70mm, I've got right in there on that moss coming off because the wind is blowing this way, so it's all good, I think. I'll stick them up now. Top tip about a morning like this, don't forget one of these, because you know it is misty and it's blowing across that very fine rain that gets stuck on everything, so don't forget your cloth. See you in a minute. Right then, this one, whoa, I'll edit that out. This one, trees behind me, I've done 4 shots. I focused on the bottom of the branch for all the twisted bits. Let me show you. Fuck. So I focused down here on the bottom mossy bit with the branch twisting up. I focused halfway up the tree. I focused at the top of the tree. And then I focused over there on the background. It's not very interesting here, so I've lifted the camera up a bit just to try and get that out. I'll probably crop a bit of that out as well in post, but that's a 4-shot focus stack. Now this is this is really brave because I'm really hoping it'll work out. I was hoping it was going to clear a little bit because it's just started to warm and it got a little bit lighter, and then the next wave of rain comes, well, you know, the fine mist comes and gets me all wet again, so I've got no hope. I don't think it's going to clear, but it's an interesting subject. It's good, it's cool, and do you know what, there's nothing stopping me from coming back here again and again and again. You know, I've got a beautiful winter scene from last week, and now we've got a misty, moody scene, so sunrise would be beautiful. I don't normally, the sun sets over there, so we could probably get an angle on it. So you know, each time I pass here, I think I might make it a point of coming back and doing something again with it, because there is absolutely nothing wrong with revisiting the same place. Oh, he's going back to the same place. Yeah, for different sets of circumstances, different groups of weather, different sunsets, different cloud formations, different misty, moody conditions, snow, ice, you know, revisit them. Because every time you revisit them, you'll find something different, you'll look for something different, and you'll learn something different. So yeah, top tip, revisit locations. Right, just back to the van for 5 minutes, just to warm through. It's amazing in this fine rain how damp everything gets. My jacket's soaked. 2 things. I'm going to go and finish off on that row of trees over there, caught in the mist. See if we can't make something of that. And then I'm going to swap lenses to the big lens, drive my way through Exmoor, see if we can see any deer. Right, last shot in this location then before I move on. These trees running all the way into the mist. So I might move the camera in a minute. But it's not blowing my mind. 1/80th, f8, ISO 200. Let's move. So I've moved location. I've literally gone 50 feet and it's changed the photograph completely changed it. I filled my frame more with the trees. I've still got that distant background. The histogram is better, it's more balanced, rather than all the greyed out white mist. And along the path, you've got
all the green moss that's allowed to grow in these type of conditions. So there's plentiful colour there. Much happier with this, I think. Much happier. Let's get this shot set up, and I'll talk you through it. Right. So here's the scene. Let me get in a shot. I'll show you all about it. So I'm starting here. I've got my phone in my hand so I can see what the camera's seeing. Focus up here to start with. The whole middle of the frame. So you've got top, middle and bottom. The middle is filled with all the trees running right down as far as the eye can see into that mist. I've focused here, I've focused here, and I've focused down there. I've also focused on this grass in the foreground, just to make sure everything's sharp throughout the whole shot. You've got all this beautiful green moss and dead brown leaves that are still hanging on. I just think it lends itself to a good shot. Right, like I've always said, turn your shot around. Now, I'm not sure if this works, but I quite like it. And I will tell you why. Because you've got these trees are in the foreground. Now, in the mist, these trees, they run all the way round down the road. So in the background, you've got the trees in the mist. I focused on these, and then I focused through here. There's a 3-shot focus stat. That's all I've done this morning, is focus stat everything. So I'm really on a limit. If there's no video next Sunday, it's because it all failed. But I quite like it, because in this shot, I've got the curve. I've got the curve where it runs round. I'll stick it up. I haven't got a clue. I'll stick it up. Right, we're on a GoPro now. Osmo's all packed away. I can't stick it up in the front anywhere. The GoPro's easy. It's got its own mount. If the volume's changed, I apologise. I haven't got the media mod with me, but hopefully it's fine. I've had it in here before. Let's go and see if we can find some deer. I'm on my way home. I know a lovely route where they normally are. I doubt they're out in these conditions, but we'll see. We'll see. Because they won't see me coming, will they? Let's go. Right, that is literally it from me. You see I've got my coat on, so I did get out a couple of times for a couple of shots on the drive back down. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the way I talk about things. I hope you enjoy the way I talk you through shots as best as I can, as best as I know, you know. I am self-taught at the end of the day. Have a beautiful week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next outing.